Hi, Dharma Circle. Swati here. Happy Wednesday. Every week on a Wednesday, I come into our Dharma Circle group and I share a new topic with you, something that will support you on your dharmic path, help you get clear with your soul purpose, and also create more prosperity with your business, sharing your gifts and wisdom with the world. So today is all about Dharma and enhancing clarity on your path using the tool of Vedic Astrology or Jyotish. This is also called sidereal astrology. And of course, it's very different than Western astrology. So I'm going to share some of those differences today and remind you why Dharma requires Jyotish. Jyotish is such a powerful tool for the dharmic path, and I consider it an essential tool. So let's dive in and get started. So if you are wanting to clarify your path and your purpose, if you want to trust your path and your purpose, to know what the purpose of your soul is in this lifetime, why did you come to this body, this life, this earth right now at this time, especially at this time? Why this time? Because timing is important. Timing is everything. And your Jyotish chart can tell you this. The answers are here. It's so helpful to have a map. It's so helpful to have a tool to support you with the clarity of why am I here? What am I here to accomplish? And what is the offering, the sacred offering my soul has to share with the world, sharing my unique gifts and wisdom, and what's the best path forward for this? This is also about you creating prosperity on your path. Dharma is the way to create prosperity for your body and soul, and also materially. So when we share our soul gifts and wisdom, we naturally are supported by nature, natural law, and the intelligence of nature shows up to support us. And that doesn't mean we don't need to gather some skills for being a good business person, but you will be supported when you say yes to your Dharma. And that is something that is really important to remember, that when you commit to your dharmic path, when you commit to sharing your gifts and your wisdom, nature supports you in this. You will get support on the path. So, one of the things that just baffles me, and we are in Kali Yuga, so this is, a 432,000 year cycle according to ancient Vedic astrology. These cycles run at they're different lengths and they're at different times. And this time period that we are in is called Kali Yuga. And it is a 432,000 year cycle of adharma. This is where Dharma gets lost because of the mistake of the intellect, pragya parad. And we are so easily disconnected from our body wisdom and our soul purpose as a result. And so it's no surprise that people are using an incorrect tool and inaccurate tool like Western astrology. It's astronomically incorrect. And if you are a yoga practitioner, if you are someone who practices yoga, and maybe that's asana, so the postures that support well-being, just remember that the Vedas are meant to be used in their wholeness, their entirety. So they were never meant to be used with one branch or this branch or that branch. All of the branches support your wholeness. Jyotish is one of the branches of the Ved that is known to support and enhance the light of the soul. All branches of the Vedas support self-realization, awakening the light of the soul, keeping us connected to the purpose of our soul, our Dharma. And Jyotish is one of these branches. We have many branches that support the self-awakening and the connection and alignment with the purpose of our soul. But Jyotish is one of these most important branches. If you are committed to your yoga practice and this self-discovery, I really encourage you to be using an accurate tool. Jyotish is, again, astronomically correct. The ancient Jyotishis knew that there were different ways to cast charts: a sidereal approach and a tropical approach. And they chose the sidereal approach because it is, they knew that it would last the test of time. And the tropical approach, unfortunately, is it's now becoming obsolete because the starting point of the zodiac has shifted due to some complicated astronomical shifts. We actually, from a sidereal approach, we start the zodiac not with Aries, but within the sign of Pisces. And that is due to changes that have occurred over hundreds of years. And astronomically, we know that the zodiac actually starts now in Pisces, not in Aries. So these are things that we must take into consideration. Also, one of the other major philosophical but also very important differences is that the sidereal approach is a fixed system. So we're basing our calculations on the fixed stars in the heavens. The star patterns don't change. We're moving on Earth. We're moving. Our relationship to the sun is moving, but the stars are actually fixed. And so we can use those star patterns, the nakshatras, to understand where we are in relation to the heavens. That's really important. Again, that's different than the tropical approach, which is movable. They're using a movable system. I want to remind you that from a Vedic perspective, and this is a worldview that I personally adhere to, that the unfixed, unchanging reality, the Atma, the soul, this is the truth of our existence. There's plenty in our reality here on planet Earth, living in a human body, that is all about change, constant change. But the truth of our existence is really rooted in the non-changing reality of our being, the Atman, the soul. And this is what Jyotish supports us with, the self-discovery of the non-changing reality. And when we root into this non-changing reality, the Atman, the soul, then we can better understand how to orient towards these changes taking place in nature. Natural law is very intelligent. This is the intelligence of nature. The Vedas teach us that nature and natural law is the absolute truth. So if you want to understand what is truth in my life, what is truth in this existence, we can look to nature to understand. We don't need to look any further than nature and her incredible wisdom and her incredible intelligence. All the truth resides there. And the other truth of this is that our body wisdom is intertwined with the cosmos and cosmic intelligence. It's one and the same. And the Vedas teach us that So is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm, so is the macrocosm, so is the microcosm. The body is literally a reflection of the cosmos and what's happening in the cosmos. Again, we want really accurate astronomical details when we are using something like a map of the cosmos to understand the map of our own body. We need accuracy in order to really get proper information and to support this natural intelligence that lives in our body and is a reflection of the cosmos. And there's quite a bit of incredible knowledge and wisdom that comes from the Vedas that actually show direct correlation between what's happening in the physiology and how the cosmos mirror that directly. And so the Vedas teach us that there is such beautiful alignment and connection between the physical body, the whole makeup of the physical body, which is perfect. It's divine, it's perfect, and it mirrors the intelligence of the cosmos and nature. So when we use Vedic astrology in this way, it truly expresses the real purpose of Jyotish, which was quite frankly never about prediction. It was never about predicting, when will I buy a new car? Will I, meet the love of my life? How many kids will we have? These things are insignificant in comparison to the truth of what Vedic astrology supports us with. And I've had many, many teachers over my lifetime. I grew up with Vedic astrology, and I started studying my own chart at age 7 and then consulted with, a variety of world-renowned Jyotishis throughout my life. And there were so many differences, of course, that I noticed with the various Jyotishis that I consulted with. But one of the things that never worked for me was, first of all, very masculine, predictive approach that had to do with what will happen in this lifetime, and, very much about this higher authority who knew more than me about my own body and my own life, telling me what to do and when to do it and all of these things. So not in right relationship with my own inner authority and my own inner power. And at some point, the disconnection with going to Jyotishis became so wide. The problem with having someone tell me their input, and I won't share all of my harm stories here today, but there are many, and there are very dramatic harm stories that I've experienced with Vedic astrology. And what I realized is, at one point, many years ago, I just decided no more. I'm not going to any more Jyotishis. I'm not consulting with anyone. This is about me and my own feeling level. And I'm going to use the chart to refine my own inner knowing. And as a result, I've created what I call embodied Vedic astrology, embodied Jyotish, using the body wisdom, so an embodied somatic approach, as well as trauma-informed and body-centered, of course, to support and enhance the inner wisdom, and to use the map or the Jyotish chart as a refinement tool. And that has greatly enhanced the process of Jyotish that I work with, and also the results that me and my clients get. And so I consider this to be the highest purpose of Jyotish, to be using it in a body-centered way to support and enhance our own intuition, our own guidance system, rather than seeking outside of the self for answers, which is how Jyotish is typically used today. And I find this to be very problematic. Not only is modern Jyotish being used to take us outside of our own body, our own inner knowing, but it's very masculine centric. And if you look around the Jyotish world, it's heavily dominated by male Jyotishis who, let's be honest, patriarchy runs deep. And I haven't found most Jyotishis to really understand a feminine embodied approach to Vedic astrology, deepening our intuitive guidance system, trusting the self, building more inner confidence, and strengthening the trust in our own gifts, medicine, and wisdom, which of course comes from our own lineage. And if we're using the chart in this way, we can greatly enhance that sense of, I trust myself, I trust my body, I trust my purpose, I trust my path, I trust my steps, I know where I'm going, and I know that every step I take is leading me in this direction. And the chart is just enhancing this inner knowing. It doesn't take us away from or disconnect us from ourselves. And I'm speaking from very personal experience because this tool, of course, I grew up with, and I watched my whole spiritual community, my own family, using this tool in a way that was really to calm the inner fear. The fear of, what if something bad happens? Or how can I prevent something bad from happening? That is not the proper use of Jyotish. Jyotish is not about appeasing mental fear. That's not the highest purpose of Jyotish. And to be honest, there's really no way to appease the mental fear. How do we move into right relationship with that fear? How do we bring greater understanding to this fear? Let's use the Jyotish chart to understand that. This way that we orient in our own body, in our own physiology. Let's understand the mind, the emotion, the physical body, the spiritual body, even the ancestral body. Let's use Jyotish to enhance our own inner knowing, to support this right relation with our own physiology, our own nervous system, even our attachment styles. Let's use the chart to enhance the psycho-emotional, to nurture and foster healing. Healing in our own inner knowing. Because that's really, if I want to go deep here, this is about colonization. Colonization of the body, of the mind, spirit. Even how religion and religious dogma has disrupted and disconnected us from our own intelligence, our own inner guidance systems, natural intelligence, the intelligence of nature. Jyotish, when used properly, actually supports reconnecting and knitting together these parts of ourselves where we've been disconnected from our own inner guidance system. This is the true purpose of Jyotish. Now, every tool has a light side and a dark side. Every tool can be used for harm or good. It's true. We want to make sure that when we're using this very ancient tool that has always been used for the purpose of Dharma, that we are in right relationship with this tool. And that's part of my mission, is to make sure that we're using Jyotish and that the clients who work with me are using this tool to enhance embodiment, enhance their own inner intelligence, enhance their own inner guidance and their own inner wisdom. Not me telling you what to do, not me telling you what's going to happen. And if you are working with Jyotish in that way, and if you're going to Jyotishis asking for answers and expecting someone to tell you what to do, how to do it, when to do it, all of this, I'm going to invite you to really look within. Are you in right relationship with your own power? Really? Are you expecting someone outside of your own body to have the answers you seek? And if you say yes, that is a problem for your dharmic path. Your dharma comes from within. It's sourced from within. It's sourced from your own body wisdom. When we are disconnected from our own body wisdom, when we're disconnected from feelings, emotions, needs, nourishment, we will never find Dharma. Dharma is the contentment and the nourishment of your soul. This is an inside job. And your body is the vehicle to get you there as a human in this form. So again, we want to use Jyotish to enhance and support this inner knowing, this intelligence within our own body wisdom, not as a tool to disconnect, take us outside of the body. You tell me what to do. You tell me how to do it. You tell me. No, that is colonization. And this is a very ancient spiritual warfare that has caused immense harm to humanity for thousands of years. And in order to support your Dharma and your dharmic path, this is really a path of decolonizing. You cannot avoid your body, you cannot avoid the wisdom of your soul and find Dharma and live your Dharma. So Dharma is the path of not avoiding your body and your soul. You have to listen, and you have to start making changes, choices, decisions that are in alignment with your body and what your body is telling you. And this is where the path strengthens and the path gets challenging. Some of you are not willing to make the changes your body and your soul are asking you to make. And the question becomes, how long will you keep staving off or pushing away or avoiding, neglecting, and staying disconnected from the nourishment of your own soul? Once you choose Dharma, it gets louder and louder and louder, and you will not be able to turn your back, avoid, numb, neglect what your soul is asking you to do. And of course, all of this is very evident in the Jyotish chart. It's all there. So we came here with a purpose, especially if you are a contract worker hired by your ancestors. You have been hired to fulfill this role and this duty to repair and restore Dharma for your lineage and to be a torch carrier, so that the light of Dharma is carried through this very dark time of Kali Yuga. So for those of us that we know this is our purpose and this is our path, there is no other way. There is no other way. And I will tell you that it gets easier as you commit and affirm the path and just commit and declare, this is what I'm doing, and I will listen to my body and my soul, and I will follow through with action that is aligned with this inner knowing. And that is the path. And as we keep taking these steps that are in alignment with what our body is telling us, with what our soul is telling us, this is the path of Dharma. We cultivate the path like this. And you can, call it all kinds of things. Neural pruning and calming the nervous system and a healing path. And, there are so many names for this. But the truth is that as we heal, we are deepening this natural intelligence, this ability to listen to our own body wisdom and responding with right action to that knowing. That's Dharma. And eventually you start to notice, I can't do that anymore, or I can't be with these people anymore, or I can't, make these choices, or this environment does not support the nourishment of my body and soul, and we have to make changes. And this, of course, enhances and supports the intelligence and the awakening within us. So Jyotish is vital for your dharmic path, and using this tool properly is vital for your dharmic path. Listening to your body wisdom. And of course, my approach to Vedic astrology, I call it embodied Vedic astrology, is also trauma informed. It's also part of decolonizing your body. And it is taking body wisdom into consideration. I am a trained body-centered expressive art therapist. I'm also an entrepreneur. I am a Vedic scholar, a lifelong Vedic scholar, and an artist, a dancer. I love animals, and animals are part of my Dharma as well. And all of these things over the last decade have helped me cultivate a very unique understanding of Vedic astrology, Dharma, and also supporting my clients with creating powerful, successful, and prosperous offerings, sharing their gifts and wisdom on the path. So if this is inspiring and interesting to you and you want more, you want to study Vedic astrology in an embodied way, a body-centered, trauma-informed way, then comment Dharma below and I will reach out to you personally. Let's see if my tools and resources can support you, your path, your purpose, and your prosperity, sharing your gifts and wisdom in this world. And every Wednesday I come into our group and I share another topic to support you with your dharmic path and the prosperity of sharing your gifts and wisdom through an offering. So comment Dharma below and let's talk. Let's see what you need on your path, what would feel helpful for you, and if a body-centered approach to Vedic astrology can support you on your path. Let's figure out a way to make this happen for you. All right, everyone, share your questions with me below, and I'll look forward to hearing more from you along the way and hear updates about your discoveries. I'll keep posting and sharing, and I have shared a couple Jyotish articles here in the group. I'm writing a book called Soul Wealth. I know some of you are really excited to get your hands on that. It's coming. Every week I'm sharing a new chapter with you. You can see some of those chapters listed below in our group here, and I hope that's of benefit to you as well. All right, everyone, comment Dharma below. I will see you soon, and take good care.